What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Everybody, what's poppin'? Yeah. We are back at the bar and the bar is open. What's poppin', Henny? Gang, 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 gang. All right. So I know that there's been a little bit of a delay and I do apologize for my tardiness, but I promise it's going to be well worth it. Now, as you know, I started this exposing the shady business dealings of Wack, I guess you could say, series, because Wack is a shady individual. And I mean, it's not like we didn't know that already. And it's not like we didn't know Wack is not to be trusted. But the reason why I'm doing some of this is because people need to know just how deep down and diabolical he is and how far he will go. He seems to have no cap, no ceiling, no nothing. It's just like this man will stop at nothing, as you will see in today's video. Pardon me if I'm not making eye contact with y'all right now. I forgot to post it to IG. No offense to IG, but you know, sometimes I just be on the move. Like, let's go, let's get this show started, let's get it popping. So I don't always remember to post the link. Okay, so forgive me. And I noticed that we've started to pick up traction over there on the Facebooker. So if you didn't know, Hennessy Reviews is on Facebook as well. And people are very excited about that because they're saying that now we can share your stuff. But you could share my stuff from here. You can share it on IG. You can share the videos. And I encourage you guys to share the links to the videos, share clips of the videos with links to the video on your social media platforms. I encourage that. I do not have a problem with anyone doing that. Let me be very clear and let me say that very openly and very loudly. I do not have a problem with anyone using my clips, okay? But do not steal my intellectual property and not give me credit for it, right? Because the reason why I don't mind anybody sharing it is because we want to get the information out there, right? So before we get into this, let me just briefly touch on something else that had happened over on IG. I had made a video exposing that recording of Wack saying that he would make it look like an interview, and you know, he'll be standing. I forgot where I got it from, but I did say it in the video on here on YouTube. But I did share that to the IG, and I even tagged the person on IG. I tagged them in the post from the Circus Press Box, okay? And what happened was someone came over here to IG and recorded a clip of the video, or they were able to remove like my watermark off the video and stuff like that. And they posted it, but they cut like half of the Circus Press Box off, right? So another big blog page picked up the post, but instead of giving the credit to my page, they gave the credit to the person's page they got it from. And so everybody was in the comments, like Henny Gang was down in the comments mobbing out. Okay, and they were telling them, oh no, that's Hennessy Reviews, that's Circus Press Box, that's not that person's post, da 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 da. They're telling them where the information actually came from. And instead of them either putting a slash at Hennessy Reviews or whatever up there, they just decided to take the whole post down. And once they took their post down, other people began to take their post down as well and put this rumor out there. She doesn't want anybody using her content, da 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 da. I don't want anybody taking my content and not giving me proper credit. The first person who took the video and posted it should have put where they got it from. You see what I'm saying? Because that's how all of us circulate. That's how things get around. For example, I'm doing a review of Melvante's Why the F Did I Stay? A lot of people were unaware of this, what I call TikTok novella that was already put out there until I put it out there. And I'm using his content and I'm sending people over there. And guess what? People have begun to watch or have watched the series now because I'm reviewing it. So I put a spotlight on this gentleman's page, and I'm not saying that, I'm like this huge person with 1 million subscribers and, whatever. But here in the world of YouTube, every view counts. Every interaction with the content counts. So me sending people over there to him is not hurting me. I use somebody else's content. I say where I got the content from. I'm showing them where I got the content from. They go over there and subscribe to their channel. That doesn't mean they're going to unsubscribe or unfollow me. That just means they found another content creator that they like, that when Henny's not on live, I could go over there and watch their content, or I could watch some of Henny's old stuff. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is, and I'm going to say this loudly before we get into this content here, because I am also trying to run for the 10 minutes. I've noticed that the Krishan hate pages, they stick together. They work together. They post the content. Today, this is what this person posted. So now they go and they post it, and they attack the content together all over social media. They really have clicked up. But on the Krishan support side, people who are pro Krishan, it's not that. There's a few of us that, we conversate, and some of us conversate behind the scenes, and you don't know we conversate, but we don't stick together. My channel is monetized, Jacqueline. You're gonna see commercials. I can't do nothing about that. That's how I make my bread and butter. I need the commercials. I'm sorry. So on our side of things, we don't share each other's posts and put who it came from. And that's why you got to put your name across everything, and hopefully nobody can remove what you put on it. Like, everybody wants to be the first one to display and, doesn't want to give credit to where they got the information from. They rather go find the original. And, I go and do that because a lot of people have been shady towards me behind the scenes in the inbox. Quiet is kept, but now it's out in the open. So when it comes to IG, I kind of am a little skeptical as to who I can share, who I can't share. Like, I'm a little nervous about that. I'm seeing that we have 111 people in here, but only 69 likes. Can we get the likes up before we get into the content, please? So yeah, share the content, but post the link to the video so people can actually go watch the video. Share the content, but let it be known where you got it from. If I use something from, let's say, Blue Girls Club or Hot Tea, Hot Chocolate, I'm not removing their watermarks. And if they don't have a watermark and I download the video, I'm not removing, because you can remove the IG little logo that moves around. You can remove that. I'm not removing that. I'm leaving that on there. And y'all see in the videos that I do on the press box, where I get the video from, I put video credit to. So y'all know where I got that video from. And if it's somebody you see I use a lot, maybe that's somebody that y'all might be interested in. I don't know. But I don't see what the problem is. And it's such a big problem on this side of the Krishan train tracks, okay? And it's terrible. People can link up for something negative, but can't link up for something positive. Anywho, we got to do better, people. So now, last video we talked about, and I showed you how Wack 100 was helping the game through shell companies hide his money from Priscilla Rainey. Priscilla Rainey was a contestant that was on She Got Game, which aired in VH1, and it was a dating show where women were kind of like Flavor of Love. They were vying for the affections of the game, and Priscilla was a contestant. And Priscilla alleges that during her time as a contestant, while not in the capacity of work, meaning that they weren't actually doing anything recording for the show, that Game essayed her by reaching under her dress and touching areas that he shouldn't have, jiggling her lady bags for the club, just embarrassing her and things of that nature. And so she sued the Game for these essay allegations, and the judge ruled in her favor and awarded her $7.1 million and some change. This case took place in 2015. It is now 2024, and Miss Rainey is still chasing down money. She has only received a certain amount. The Game and Wack 100 have hid the royalties that were due to her from streaming platforms that pay him out for his music being played. The royalties were awarded to her. Wack 100 also helped the Game with signing over his home to Wack specifically as a gift, and the land, as in an effort to attempt to keep Miss Rainey from seeking her fundage. Okay? And they were shuffling these payments that he's been receiving for anything that he does through these shell companies in an effort to hide everything. So that was part 1. Today, in part 2, we're going to look at how Wack 100 pulled a shady business move on a church, which landed him and his business partner in court, ladies and gentlemen. So that is something that I want people to understand. I am pulling this stuff from the court documents. This is not something that I am just pulling out of my behind. These are actual legit. Oh, wait a minute. These are actual legit court records. So can you guys hear me okay? Is it distorted in any type of way? Because I've heard that when I play the music sometimes that it sounds a little distorted. Am I distorted? No, I'm good. Okay. Now, there are 144 people in here. Can I get a like check? Oh, 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 no, Henny. No, Henny. Get the likes up. No, Henny. 115. We're at 141. Can we get those likes up to at least 120? Hey, y'all. Miss Poppington says we're at 118. Come on, y'all. 2 more likes. I'm just asking for 2 more likes. Can we confirm the 121, Miss Poppington? Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate you. 126. All right, let's get this show rocking and rolling, y'all. So let me get this up here. And y'all, if y'all thought the Game was something, this may not be nothing to a lot of people, but it's just the simple fact that it is a church. You did this to the church. If you will do this to the church house, you'll do this to anybody, okay? So anybody that is thinking of going into business, let me see how we looking over here on the big screen. Okay, we looking good. We looking good. We looking good. We looking good over here. That's beautiful because y'all can see it. That's beautiful. That is just a beautiful sight. It's such a vibrant thing. I don't know why that just came into my mind. Okay, so this is Episcopal New Life Ministry, Inc., doing business as New Life Community Church, a California nonprofit corporation, versus Travis D. Wilson, an individual, BRH Holdings, LLC, a Florida limited liability company, Cash M. Jones, an individual, and Fifth Amendment Entertainment, a Florida corporation. Now, if y'all remember, when we went through the documents in the Games case, they were saying that Wack's company was suspended in Florida. However, there's a lot of shady shit going on, okay? When it comes down to his business, to this Fifth Amendment, okay? It's a lot of shady business. And I got the henny on that, okay? All of the movings arounds and stuff. But we're going to say that because I got to baby walk y'all into this, all right? So now, it is for breach of contract, breach of oral agreement, specific performance and declaratory relief. Okay. Now, Plaintiff New Life Ministry, Inc. hereby alleges that defendants Travis D. Wilson, BRH Holdings LLC, Cash M. Jones, and Fifth Amendment Entertainment. This is what they're alleging. At all relevant times herein mentioned, the plaintiff was and is a nonprofit company, okay? The complaint is for breach of oral agreement, specific performance, declaratory relief. So this is what the complaint is for. Now let's get into what had happened, okay? Let me get my glasses on because I'm squinting. Let me get my glasses on because I'm squinting, y'all. Okay. On or about June 11th, 2017, the plaintiff entered into a commercial property purchase agreement, a large land parcel of approximately 1.5 acres for the price of $250,000. I want y'all to pay attention to the name that I'm about to mention. Let me wipe them off real quick. I'm going to have to get new lenses. Hey, listening at work? All right, here we go. Okay. 250. Kimberly Jones. Do y'all remember that name? Do y'all remember who Kimberly Jones is? That's Wack's, I guess, ex-wife now. Represented the plaintiff as their real estate agent in the transaction. In or about February 2019, Kimberly Jones informed the plaintiff that her husband, defendant Jones, which is Wack, okay, has offered to advance the church. Because the defendant and the plaintiff, the church is the plaintiff and Wack is the defendant, okay? So, Kimberly Jones informed the plaintiff that her husband, Wack 100, has offered to advance the church $250,000 needed to purchase and acquire the subject property, which is, the building and the land. Unknown to the church at the time, defendant Wack 100 and defendant Wilson were to split $250,000, with each of them paying $125,000. So now that means that Wack, unbeknownst to the people at the church, Wack made this side agreement with somebody and said, hey, we're going to lend this church $250,000 for them to get this, right? You're going to put up 125 and I'm going to put up 125. So at the time that this offer was made, it was unknown to the church that this is what was going on. It was a side deal that Wack had made unbeknownst to them. Again, I'm repeating that. They did not know that. As a part of the consideration for the loan to the church, Wack and Wilson were to take a temporary interest in the property through their respective corporations until the church repaid them the monies borrowed. So you got Mr. Wilson business, which is that holdings, and Wack's Fifth Amendment going on to the deed or whatever it was that they did. We gonna get into it until they got the monies back. So you lending the money, but you holding the building hostage and the property. Until he pay you back. The church's obligations to repay was conditioned on obtaining a construction loan for the property, which the defendants which Wilson and Wack were to help the plaintiff obtain. The church was to pay Wilson and Wack back from the construction loan proceeds, which would trigger the defendant's obligations to transfer their interest in the property to the plaintiff. So that means that they would then transfer the property back to the church. In or about February 2019. Now remember, this happened in February 2019 with that, right? All parties agreed to the above terms and the defendants and plaintiff entered into an oral agreement. So the church, Wack 100, and Mr. Wilson all entered into an agreement, an oral agreement. There was no paperwork. They shook hands. They did a gentleman's agreement. In or about March of 2019, escrow closed for the property with the following owners on the title as tenants in common: Episcopal New Life Ministry, BRH Holdings, and Fifth Amendment Entertainment. So you got those three, okay, listed on the title as agreed upon. As required by the terms of the agreement, Mr. Wilson introduced the church to an affiliate, Griffin Capital, to assist the church in obtaining a construction loan for the property. Griffin Capital, in turn, identified a lender, Five Star Bank, to write the construction loan for the plaintiff. Doesn't this sound a little? This sounds so shady and shaky. This sounds like, y'all remember, Henny Glasses in the chat if y'all watched The Wire. Because if you watch The Wire, then do you remember when Stringer was calling himself going straight and he tried to get down there and play with them corporate dudes, and one dude was introducing him to another dude that was introducing him to another dude, and in the midst of all of that, he was shelling out all this money left and right, and they was bleeding them dry. That's what this gives me the feel of. Y'all agree? Because that's what it sounds like to me. So you gonna lend me, collectively, the two of you gentlemen over here are gonna lend me $250,000 for me to get the building and the land. Okay, y'all gonna lend me the money to get this, and then one of you is gonna go and reach out to somebody who's gonna reach out to somebody that knows you, that's gonna approve my loan. The money from that loan, I gotta give back to y'all $250,000 from the money that you've helped me to attain. Child. All right, can we get a like check, please? Can we get a like check? Oh, can we get a like check? Oh, because we got 100 and, we need the likes to be up. We need the likes to be up. Can I at least have 140 in likes? Are we at 150 in likes? Okay, so everybody is liking as they come in. I'm loving this. 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 I need to get my numbers up though, y'all. All right, so in or about March 2019, escrow closed. Okay, we read that already. So they went into this oral agreement in February. In March, the escrow closed. On or about January 5th of 2020. So now we are in the next year. It's been almost a year. Okay. Five Star Banking sent the church an expression of interest letter outlining the general terms of the construction loan in the amount of the lesser of $1,250,000. So now he got a loan for $1,250,000. That don't sound, you don't find that suspicious? And out of that 1 million, you got to give 250 of that back to Wack and Wilson, which is supposed to leave you with $1 million. Okay. And it says, or 65% of the appraised value of the property. All right. Y'all ready? Take the what and leave the what? Oh, but wait. There's more. There's always more. So this was on January 5th that he got approved for the loan from Five Star Bank. And the name of the bank, you don't find that suspicious? Five Star Bank. Isn't the star of the Bloods a 5-point star? Or am I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been around, folks. I could be wrong. I could be wrong in reaching. It happens. It don't sound a little suspicious to you? Okay. On or about January 14th, the church paid Five Star Banking $5,000 as a good faith deposit towards obtaining the construction loan. Now, that's not unusual because sometimes they will ask you to pay a certain amount up front. Now, here's where the breach of the oral agreement comes into play, okay? The church incorporates and realleges, okay, we don't have to read that part. On or about January 20th, defendant Wack contacted the church and unilaterally attempted to amend the terms of the agreement by demanding that the church place his wife and his son on the executive board of the church, or he would cancel the construction loan with Five Star Banking and not perform under the terms of the oral agreement. I'm going to highlight and read that again. On or about January 2020, which means after he was already approved and gave up his $5,000 to Five Star Bank, he went to go amend the terms of the agreement, which was that he and Wilson go on the title with the plaintiff with the church, until he paid them back. Then once he paid them back, they would turn the whole title over to him. They then finagled and bamboozled their way into getting funding. Once the funding, after he done paid this money out, he gonna say to him, put my son and my wife on your board, your executive board of directors, or else we not giving you this loan. I told you, didn't I tell y'all this was gonna be some good Henny? It's good, okay? The plaintiff refused Wack's demand. Consequently, the construction loan with Five Star Banking failed to process any further despite previously being approved. Now, let me ask y'all this, because I ain't never heard of this before. How can he stop somebody's loan when he don't have nothing to do with it? The church applied for the loan. How you stopping it if you ain't got nothing to do with it? Wack conspired to cause the previously approved construction loan with Five Star Banking to fail. The church is thereby excused from performance under the oral agreement, as obtaining the construction loan is the condition of all of this, basically. The church fulfilled its obligation and paid all fees attended with the parcel split, establishing part performance and oral agreement. The church has performed at all times and stood ready to perform all the obligations of the defendant the terms of the oil agreement. Okay, so now listen. The second cause of action. The plaintiff has no adequate remedy at the law. Okay, where was a declaratory of relief? There was something else in here. I don't have my paper in front of me. An actual controversy has arisen and now exists between the church and Wack and Wilson regarding their various rights and responsibilities under the oral agreement. Wack and Wilson inappropriately attempted to basically amend their agreement with the church. As retaliation, because that's the perfect word for this, as retaliation, Wack refused to change the previously agreed upon terms. Wack conspired, let's say, and Wilson, just for argument's sake, and allegedly, conspired to cause the church's previously approved construction loan to fall through. Wack and Wilson no longer recognized the existence of the oral agreement and refused to assist the church in reinstating their construction loan and further refused to convey the property. They stuck. The church is stuck with them. The church desires a judicial determination of its rights and responsibilities and a declaration as to the validity of the oral agreement, whether the defendants are obligated to resume their assistance in obtaining a construction loan for the plaintiff, or at the very least, no longer hinder the plaintiff's attempt to obtain said loan, and whether the defendants, Wack and Wilson, are obligated to convey the property to the plaintiff, meaning give the property back to them. Y'all, if you are just now getting here, let me give you the rundown on what we just read through. Okay, let me give you the rundown. Basically, Wack's wife or ex-wife, because I don't know if they still together or not, but Wack's wife was working in the capacity of a real estate agent, and we got to go here because it started with her, and tells her client, oh, my husband can give you the monies that you looking for. He can help you. He's willing to lend you the $250,000. Now, sidebar, how the hell Wack know that this church needed $250,000 for this property if Kimberly wasn't running her mouth in them bed sheets? Or was she allegedly in on it? Because it started with her. Anywho, let's continue. Wack makes an agreement, comes up with this little scheme, sketch, whatever you want to call it, allegedly, with his partner. I'm going to put in half, you going to put in half, and we going to put our names on this title, which means we going to hold this property until he run us back our money. But until then, our names is on the title. Basically, it sounds to me like he was trying to defraud the church from the church. Because once the church got approved for a loan, sent their good faith payment in and all of that, Wack says, put my wife and son on the executive board of directors or else I ain't getting you the loan. The church says, and we ain't doing that. We not finna do. See, this what we not finna do. Yes, this is what we not finna do. Now, when he refuses to do that, Wack in turn contacts the bank, cancels out the loan, says you ain't getting a loan, can't get a loan, won't ever get a loan because you done told me no. to putting my wife and son up on the executive board of directors. And we ain't taking our names off the title. No, we ain't recognizing that we ever had this oral agreement with you. Now, here's my problem with that. Because if you have an oral agreement that you're saying, that our names go on this title till you pay us back, how are you going to say you don't have an oral agreement at all? How are you going to deny the oral agreement? What would be the reason for the church to put you two on their business loan when you are not affiliated with the church? Child. Now, some of y'all were asking, what is this 5-star banking? Well, it seems to look like it's a bank. It seems to look that way. It looks like it's a legitimate bank. Let's see. But here's another one. Don't this look, but this is in New York somewhere. Warsaw. I've never even heard of Warsaw, New York. So this ain't it. Because it looked like this one is in New York, y'all. Let's see. Let's go to the contact us and let's see. Yeah, they in New York, so this ain't the one. But don't that look suspicious to you? I don't know about that one. But this would be the one in Cali. This would be the one in Cali. So it looks like it is a legitimate place of business, but I would like to bring your attentions to something else when it comes down to this case here. Because, all right, we're going to go in here. We're going to go over here. Oh, let me stop sharing so I can get my screen back together. I know y'all can't see it. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Let me get my screen up because I just realized that I stopped sharing the screen. I got it. I got y'all. All right. So let's go. Let me show y'all the 5-star bank. Okay. So this is the 5-star bank. Now, why can't I go back to the home page? That's odd. This is their website. And from what I see, there is only one of these banks. There's only one of them in California. And it's crazy because it says this was established in copyright in 2024. I guess the website, I don't know, but we'll look into who these peoples that call themselves 5-star banking be. Okay, let me get the watermark up. Let me get this up. Let me see. Okay, we good. Okay. Now we over here. We're gonna move this over here. All right. What are we looking at, Henny? Well, Henny's gonna tell you. Henny is going to tell you. Let me. There we go. This right here. Okay. This right here is the paperwork. July 15th of 2020. This case was moved for settlement. Now, remember, all of that craziness started in the beginning of the year, at the top of the year for 2019. 2020, the loan was approved. 2020, Wack said, I ain't giving it to you. Remedies sought was monetary and non-monetary. Okay. But this case was settled. And I'm going to say this. It was very smart of them on their behalf to settle said case. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they would have lost said case. And if you were alleging that you were not in an oral agreement, yet you trying to bind somebody to an oral agreement, that don't hold too well. That don't hold too well. Now, hearing of people creating shell companies to hide money and defraud people and keep collectors from getting into their business and into their funding is not something new. This is something that people have done for years. The problem is it's been done in such a blatant way when it comes down to the games case. And in this case, how are you strong arming a church? Who raised you? Who raised you? Because I know for a fact you wasn't raised like that. You wasn't raised like that. You were finna hold up a whole church because they didn't want to give your wife and your son executive board seats. Why would they ever do that? But now let this be a lesson. Why would you ever do business with a gangster either and think that it's going to be upright? Child. Now let me tell you something. I'm going to touch on this just a little bit, only because in both cases we've heard about this business, Fifth Amendment Entertainment, Fifth Amendment Entertainment Inc. Fifth Amendment is registered in Cali, then it's registered in Florida, then it's registered in Cali, then it's registered in Florida. I am following the trail right now of Fifth Amendment Entertainment. And I'm also going to do some digging to find out what the difference is between California and Florida, because things differ from state to state, okay? I'm going to tone it though. It's not going to be this bright. Yeah, it's too bright. I just put it on. But it's cute. It's just... I have to go buy some more, but... Right. So, they say him mama was a crackhead, so you never know. Now, I don't know. I heard his daddy was a crackhead, and that came out his mouth. That's what he said. He said that his daddy was a crack addict. He said that in his Adam 22 video. Okay, now I don't believe that the church is innocent either. Google churches that's been involved in Florida. Okay, but you know what? You can't put that on all churches. You can't put that on all churches. And it's right there in black and white. So in this instance, what's in black and white and shows you they went into business with him. That I will say was their fault. That was their first mistake. No, yeah. Their first mistake was allowing his wife to convince them to allow him to lend them the money. But you can't say all churches. That's just like saying all Christians are whatever. And all Christians are not. Are there some out there? Child. Look at my mama and Carissa. Carissa calls herself a woman of God and says she's a Christian. And then look at Mama Henny. Two different types of Christians. I want. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna behave myself. So yes, the church did learn a hard lesson. Yes, I agree that if paperwork is so important, and regardless to what, somebody said, Henny, do not compare your mama to her, please. I was just showing the difference, okay? I was just showing the difference. Now, I was trying to get that Carissa live up here for y'all. But I couldn't. I couldn't do it in time, y'all. I'm sorry. But I am very well aware of the hateful and slanderous things that Carissa has said online, and now the sister has gone on live. Oh, thank you so much, Jay. Thank you for the Cash App. I know they were sitting up and they was talking about Krishan. Child. Let me pull this video. Okay, we got. Well, someone just hit me up and told me that Wack 100's wife is a shady businesswoman, allegedly. There is also a post that was made by Carissa saying, just wanted to apologize to my family and Wack 100. The accusations, I should have done my homework. I was going off of what my mom said, plus my own PTSD, worrying about my brother, reading blogs, and watching too much YouTube. I wish them all the best. I know an apology isn't enough, but I wanted to clear things up. I have no other facts other than what my mom said, and she is saying it was a misunderstanding. I love my family very much, but it turns out the lifestyle of entertainment is not for me. I cannot tell what's real for TV or what's fake, but I have since removed myself from the environment and don't want to re-enter. I just want to live a normal life. I'm sorry for alarming anyone with my own fears. I was only trying to protect my brother and my family. I hear my brother is close to coming home. At that point, I will leave him and my family in God's hands. I'm very protective of them, but they are grown. I have to understand that and learn to focus on myself. Please understand that and learn to focus. Please continue to pray for my brother and my family. Like I said, I can't tell what's real and what's for TV, but I worry at times. Thank you all for the love and support. Please support my family as whatever process go proceed. Girl, go towards the children and their future. Peace and love. Thanks for all of your prayers. I believe that was a post from Callie that has since been deleted. And if you want to read that, you could go to Hot Tea, Hot Chocolate Tea 2 on IG. Oh no, that's okay. Oh no, that came from Dre. My bad. Because Blue Rock TTV posted it. Can we talk about Dre for a minute? Let me pull this up so y'all can see it too. I'm sorry, because I'm. Can we talk about Dre for a teensy tiny minute? I wasn't sure where it came from because it was just sitting at the top of my timeline. I'm pulling it up. I'm sorry, guys. I'm quiet. I know. I hate to go quiet. All right. So we're going to pull this up for a teensy tiny minute. Minute. Now, I know that there are people that believe what Carissa is saying. And it's crazy because I called it PTSD. I called it that. I'm not going to hold y'all. I do want to sit and have a conversation with Andre. I don't even really want to do an interview per se, but I do want to sit and talk with him because he's been through a lot. Okay. And this is what I was just reading. This is in his story. Okay. And he's apologizing to everyone. He has a right to be overprotective of his family. He does not talk to me. He does not talk like someone who is mentally unstable. He does come across to me as a person who has been through trauma, as a person who never really experienced. You got to think that man lost a lot of his lifetime behind bars. Exactly, sipping on tea. He lost a lot of his time behind bars. Time is something that we can never get back. People worry about money. People worry about property. Miss Parker. Oh, Miss Parker. Where you been, Miss Parker? Anything that is materialistic, you can get back. Even people, you've had relationships with that tears you up. Those types of things happen, right? But even with a relationship, when you and a person separate ways, you can always upgrade. There's two things that you can't get back though. That's this life and time. You also can never forget. You can never unlearn what you've learned. Once you know something about somebody, or once you know of a particular lifestyle, and now this is going to go into a little bit of a Diddy conversation, but not too much. We're not going to do too much on Diddy, because I'm telling y'all, Diddy's energy, it's very dark and it sickens me to my stomach. Okay. Those people were introduced to a lifestyle, allegedly. But that's something they had no prior knowledge of. You see what I'm saying? And once they learned that, they couldn't unlearn it. You can't unlearn it. And you for damn sure cannot forget it. You could push it down as far as you want to, but you for damn sure can never unlearn it. You can never unexperience it. An experience is an experience. And Dre, I know it's like, damn, Henny, you all over the place with this. Dre has experienced things. He has been introduced to a lifestyle, situations. He's been introduced to a lot of things. Okay. And I think one of the things that a lot of people, because I've been weighing heavy on this right here. When you have loved ones that come home from doing long stints in prison, I don't even want to say long stints. I say any stint in prison. The first thing that needs to be in place is some type of therapy, some type of counseling, some type of safe place where they can go and start unpacking things. That's just my thoughts. I've been around family members and had some people in my life that have been incarcerated, and they need therapy. Because you got to also think about how traumatic that is for them. They leave and their siblings or their children are little, they're small, and when they come home, they're these big grown adults. That's got to do a lot to you. Like, you missed out on so much. You don't know these people anymore, and they don't know you. No matter how much writing and communicating you do, you're in a long distance relationship with your family member, with your child, with your husband, with whatever they are to you. You're in a long distance relationship. Look at it like that. And you don't actually know that person until they come home. And they don't know you until they come home. Life has changed drastically. My dad one time said to me, and I have not forgotten this. I had to be about 11. And I was so angry that he was back in jail because he promised me that he wasn't going to go back. So I was so angry at him. And I remember I said, they're going to end up dedicating a cell after him when he dies. I was so angry, y'all. My mouth has always been Spitfire. Just know that. And I remember him sitting me down and him saying to me, the reason why, because, people were coming home where we live at. He would go to the county jail and then he would go on upstate or whatever. And there would be people who knew me that I didn't even know. Like, he had eyes on me in every nook, cranny, crevice, and dark corner I could think of turning down in New York State, excuse me. And I would hear these stories about my dad. My dad was phenomenal when it came down to New York State law. He knew it like the back of his hand, right? He was an imam. When he was when he was locked up, he was an imam. My dad was a practicing Muslim. Did he follow Islam, like he was supposed to? No. He cursed, occasionally, and he did things that he wasn't supposed to do, but a lot of people don't walk upright. So don't judge my dad because he's no longer with us. Okay. I'm sharing this for context. And he said to me, I said to him when he had came home, I said, people say all these great things about you, how you've helped them with their cases, how you got them home, how, and some of my friends, as we got older, started coming home talking about, yo, your dad helped me out with my case. If it wasn't for him, I'm hearing all of this stuff. My dad was well respected and loved. And he said to me, you want to know why I live like a king when I'm behind bars, and when I come home, I don't? He said, because the world is ever changing. And when you're in prison, it doesn't change. Some of the faces may change, but prison and jail is prison and jail. No matter when you go in, no matter when you come out and go back in, it remains the same. He said, I left and you were a little girl, and I came home and you have developed into a woman. And that just sat with me When I think about people, I no longer look at people the same way when I'm like, oh, well, if you loved this person, you wouldn't be able. Sometimes these people can't cope out here. They've gotten so accustomed to in there because it's wake up at this time. This is the routine. This is what we do. This is what goes on in here. Like the basic components of it are the same. So for Dre to go home, because if you remember, he talked about he's looking at Jonathan, little Jonathan with the buck teeth running around doing anything to play the game. He just wanted to play the game. Now he comes home and his baby brother is this big superstar. So now not only is he coming home having to adjust to Callie has grown up, Blue has grown up, Blue has blown up, and he has catapulted his family into a different level of spotlight. Now people are finding out that he's Blueface's brother, and people are flocking to him. They know things about him. All these people are following him and all of it. And he sees his mama sucking up all of this clout and doing all of this stuff. And he's hearing all of these wild stories. But when did he have time to heal? When did he have time to really, did anybody take the time for that? We don't know what was going on behind the scenes. So I can't say no one did any I don't know. But when did that happen? When does that time happen for him? When does it stop being my son is crazy, my son is having a psychotic breakdown, and it become, let me find my son. Let me hold my son. Let me hug my son. Let me let him have a breakdown and cry in my arms as his mother. Let me listen to my son, because it's very clear he does not feel heard, loved, or respected. And we see what is happening. He has held very firm to, this is what my mother said. This is what she said. She told me this. This is what Callie told me. This is what was said to me. He's held very firm on that. I have not come across anything to where Dre has wavered in what he has said. Now, Dre has beat a statistic. Come on now. Now, I can honestly say I've never gone to Click Click City, only to visit. I've been going up on Click Click City since I was a youngin', okay? It was so bad that when I had my kids and was going up there to see their father, the COs remembered me when I was this little girl looking like a little Indian girl with these two long braids coming up there with my grandmother. It was so bad that one time, and I'm putting y'all in my business just a little bit. One time, me and my kid's grandma was going up there to go visit, and she pulled my baby daddy down on a visit, and I pulled my daddy down on a visit. And my dad had so much pull that me and my kid's grandmother were able to switch tables. Now, if you've been on a visit, you know you're not allowed to switch tables. You're not allowed to do that. They allowed us to switch tables so that I could talk to my baby daddy. So I got a 2-for-1 visit. That's how embedded I was in that lifestyle. I no longer wish to be a part of that lifestyle. I no longer associate with that type of lifestyle unless I am obligated to, like it's family. It's, I've never been behind the bars of Click Click City. That's what I'm saying, Janelle. But I was allowed to do that because of my father. My father, when I say my father was well respected, he was well respected not only by the prisoners, but by the COs as well. My father was telling the COs stuff. He was helping the COs, like not snitching, but like you supposed to be doing this, or don't do that, or you don't want to be that. Like, what kind of CO not to be? But they respected him because of the way he carried himself. They respected him because of the way that he was respected by the other prisoners. My father, to my knowledge, has never been shanked, never gotten into anything that was disrespectful. People respected him behind them bars. So I know what it's like to visit. I know what it's like to sit on the opposite end of a table and watch somebody grow old before your eyes. As a parent, your concern, one would think, would naturally be on what person is coming home. What kind of person is coming home to me? Is this going to be the person that I raised? Is this going to be the person that I knew? What experiences have they had? What do they need from me to help them? That's not what Dre is getting, obviously. And as far as Wack 100 goes, leave Dre alone. Maybe you should stop doing some of this shady ass business that you're doing. And then you wouldn't have to worry about that, because rumor has it that you can't even be outside, bruh, man. So you need to worry about why you can't go outside and stop doing shady business. Anyway, I'm rambling on, and that has nothing to do with the topic at hand. So yes, I am going to be editing this video, but I do have more for y'all, and we will get into more. But I think that'll do it for today. And I just want to leave off with this. If you are a church and Cash Jones, aka Wack 100, ends up anywhere near your business dealings, you better run. Because if not, he's going to get you. Okay? You're going to end up in court just like this one did. But I'm just glad that they were able to settle that thing out. And the church was good to go. Amen. Amen. Well, as y'all know, I love spending time with y'all. I have enjoyed spending time in space with you. As always, remember, when you vibe high so that the bullshit don't stick. And remember that love is always love. And I love y'all. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace. Because I don't want